Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. Well, I've got another box in from Caboose Stop Hobbies. I was just there last week. In fact, I flew home Sunday and today's Wednesday and the box is already here. So I had a portion of what I bought shipped, and then I brought a bunch back in a suitcase. So I'm going to empty out all of the packing peanuts on this one, and we'll do a bit of a hobby shop haul here as I get this video started. So here is what was in the box. So starting it off is a line or a pile of O-scale boxcars. They had a good deal, like 8 for $80, so about $10 a piece. They all needed some TLC. The roof, the paint has come off on the roof and some of the details. Some of the doors are off, but most of the parts are inside the different cars. So these are all nice project cars. I can get them painted up. I can get weathering done on them. They are going to look great. So quite happy, nice selection of different cars here. So a really good purchase. Another thing I got is another smoke unit. This one comes with smoke fluid, the little syringe to fill it, and there's the unit itself. Not sure where I'm going to put it, but it's probably going to go on the O-scale layout somewhere in the service area. We'll see here. Over here, I was digging and looking behind other boxes and other things and came across this. So a double crossover, HO scale code 70, Shinohara. That is going to go on the next HO scale piece that I build. So that can tie right into my main lines that I've already got or will have, and do a crossover. So that was really good for like $25. I'm quite happy on that. In here, there's an area where they have bins of odds and ends of stuff. And I was talking about scratch building with Carol at the hobby shop and, looking for different parts and some of the stuff that I'll show that I came out with and carried home in the suitcase. I bought for materials, not so much the kits. Don't know if all the parts are there, but the materials I can use for other things. So we got talking and I knew that this drawer full of stuff was there. And I ended up getting a full box of all kinds of things for $25. It's been sitting. I have not even really looked through this to see. Wow, that's nice. What's all in here? There's bits and pieces. There's scraps of lumber. Lots of odds and ends. Even found that there's detail parts, brass odds and ends that were in here, some plastic, a whole host of things that were just in this box, and I'd been looking at it actually for years. It never had changed. So got this. I will sort through this and put the lumber and the bits and the looks like some brass rod too, and use that for scratch building. So I will get out my other stuff and show you real quick what other stuff I got. So here is the rest of my Caboose Stop Hobbies haul. All of this I was able to bring back in my suitcase. When I went, I did not pack it very full, knowing that I could probably bring some stuff back with me, and I sure did. I got all of this in my suitcase along with my clothing. So like other times out there, I've got some N scale stuff. I've got some HO scale odds and ends from the memorabilia that they've been having, some of the books, some cards. This little bit more scenic material that I got here. Variety of HO, N, and O scale, just tidbits, things that I've been picking up over time here. Some staples for laying your own track with KD. I got the staple gun, found that, $2. Couldn't pass that up. From the O scale, got a couple of these hopper kits, one Pennsylvania, one Illinois Central. I've got, again, just some freight car kits, some, odds and ends in here. This is like a two-car kit. Really nice. And then I picked up a bunch of these old building kits. Look here, Lumber Company store, $5. It looks like it's mostly there, so I'm happy about that. I can either look to build the kit, or for $5, I've got a lot of materials for scratch build. Kit bash, all that kind of stuff. Right in here is a wood microscale bridge kit, pre-cut. This is like $5, and everything's there. Price is good. So picked up a bunch. Here's $1 for a boxcar freight house. Looking at the kit, I think it's all there. I'll find out at some point in time when I start doing the next HO section, because I've got these building kits as well as a whole bunch of other stuff I've got. This one, $5, heavy industry. This one, I know the materials, they're not all there, but again, a lot of stuff that I can use for other things and details in any of the scales, actually, for much of that. This one, Brett's Brewery, $2. Parts, not sure that it's all there, and it's probably not, but still, there is a lot of stuff that's in here that I can use for other things. So I'm quite happy with this. And then this, what's this? $2, parts. There's a lot of parts in here for $2. The kit might even be here in its entirety. I don't know. I'm gonna look through this stuff, see what I've got, what I can do with. So I'm quite happy with all of the purchases that I've got. Another code 70 Shionhara switch for the HO scale. So not too shabby. So I will spend some time getting this stuff all put away and the other stuff that I showed, and then get started probably doing scenery over here in the On30 service area. I've got my buildings in here. I haven't done a whole lot in the past couple of weeks. I can get the buildings painted. I can start getting ground cover. I can start wrapping this up. So I am off to other things. So this is an O-scale scrap scene. It looks good. It really does. But it's just a big pile. And, in my On30 service area, it just won't work as a single big pile. So you notice I got my scroll saw out. You also noticed it's probably 5 years worth of dust, which in and of itself is not a bad thing. It means my garage is not that bad. But I'm going to use my scroll saw, and I'm going to cut this into a number of smaller pieces so that I can spread out these details in and around the buildings and other things that I have on the On30. Areas behind are going to be up against buildings. I can put little weeds and brush, to kind of hide cut marks. So I can get probably a piece kind of come in here, going this way, another piece going this way. I can get a nice piece on the back. And then on this center part, I will cut it out. And if I can, I will cut it on the bottom so that it's not as thick. Anyway, we're going to see how this works. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'll be able to hide mistakes and cuts and blends and get it to do what I want it to do. And then take this one piece and make multiple new chunks for the layout. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what the end result is. Well, that took a little while, but it actually did exactly what I wanted. So I've got some chunks that you can see where the cuts are. So that one pile, I've been able to get into 5 nice little pieces. So bigger scrap here, and then here's that middle piece that I cut out and then thinned So I'll have some spots where I can put some tufts of grass and some other things in that and kind of blend it into some areas. So I have to be really careful. I ended up using a clamp to kind of hold at least this piece as I was going in at an angle, coming in like 90 degrees, and it was an odd shape. So got to be very careful if you do this, but you know what? You can cut these apart. I'm going to come back in now with a file and kind of file down some of the back stuff, bits and pieces, and kind of trim it to fit where I want it to fit. But I'm happy with this. I think it was a success. So now on to some more stuff. So finally back over here at the service area for the On30. I have my scenic materials set up, as well as sparkling water. I've got blue painter's tape just along this side because I've got the cork bed here, and that way I can build it up to that level without it running down the fascia. It goes across to here, then down, because over here it's pretty much going to be level. I'll be able to do some stuff along here. I'm going to take this one out, paint it aluminum color. I'm going to paint the top of this, sort of the aluminum color as well, and then I'll paint it wood color for the bottom. So I'm going to get started on that once the rain stops here in Richmond, rainy Saturday. But I did sift a whole bunch of garden dirt that I've had in the garage now for 6 months. That should be enough to do the roadway here and into that area over here. So I'm going to take off a lot of the small details, and then I can get in and do ground cover in those areas and get started and do ground cover underneath the loading dock and different things. So I will show it at different stages as I'm progressing here, but probably the end of this video, will show I'm done with the road, probably. And then the next video I'll dedicate to probably wrapping up the scenery in this area here. We'll see how far I can get. So more to come. I'm making a little bit of progress here. So I've got the road basics in. I've got it rutted up, and then when it is totally dry, I will come back in with some more powder to highlight some of those ruts and the pieces. And I have a basic layer in through here, and then underneath the loading dock, sort of a earth, dark greenish black color. That's Woodland Scenics under there. And then I've got the scenery kind of done just right up and through here. And I do have to pick up that white thing. I used some of those new tweezers I bought to get that. So it looks like a piece of plaster. So I will continue and kind of work my way up around here to blend things in. I still have to ballast this track. I did ballast this one. You can see it's wet. So I'll probably take care of that yet tonight and then go from there. It's coming along. I got everything off. I've got the two buildings, the roofs painted, and the one building, the complete one, painted. I will give those a shot of dull coat and then do some additional detail on the roofs and the sides of the one using some chalks. That seems to work well when you use a dull coat on the paint first and then come back in with chalk like I did on this roof here. Dulls it up, makes it where it takes the chalks a little better. Then I've got a bug spray can, brand new, full, sitting on that dock because everything has got glue underneath. So I'm just going to let the glue wick up in the pilings that I've got the dock set on and glue it in place. I've already run my little box car here, make sure that I've got clearance on it, and I do, so I'm good with that. If that can fit, everything else can fit. So I'm ready to move on to something else. But you know what? I think that will do it for this video. I think we're long enough. So when I come back on the next one, I'll pick up where I'm leaving off here. And like I said, in the next one, probably get this pretty well done. So anyway, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.